always know that no matter how big your audience is, say you have 10 people or you have 15 or you have 1,000, always know there's people in that audience that are going to hire you. I always keep that in mind no matter who I'm speaking to. There's 3 business owners out there and they're going to hire me because I'm giving them all they can, even if it's for free. Now it's not for free because now you're being hired, and then they want you to offer your product to their people, and now you're making money coming and going. The part for you though, Jade, your position is a lot like my position. I want to be the best at this thing so that when I do get my chance, that I am ready and not blindsided because they're in the audience. And if I can deliver, I'm going to be paid. And that's going to lead to another job, which is then going to lead to another job, to another, because it's so rare that somebody's good at this and impactful and can teach you and it can inspire you, that if you're good at it, they will keep hiring you, and all of a sudden the thing just grows. Dawn is on the other side where she's that fighting for me that sometimes I didn't even know she was fighting for me. I didn't know she was begging schools to bring me in, and they were saying, no, we're not bringing some dad of some first grader into the school. I didn't know that was happening. I would have been doing that for free, right? I was just perfecting my craft. And you keep going and you keep going and you get a lot of no's. And eventually somebody says, yeah, that sounds good. And then all of a sudden you deliver and you're good to go. And then the thing just snowballs. But the key is you got to be great. You got to give them what you got, you know, got to inspire them. And you do that, you know, all the time. And you've got a great platform. There's just going to be, you're just going to move to bigger and bigger and bigger platforms.
And I love the one thing that I think I've mentioned this to you before, Jade, and then you, if you wanted to tell them a little bit about it. For a long time when Bo was speaking on stages, he'd finish and he'd come off stage and we'd be at the cocktail party and saying hi to people, and they'd be like, wow, that story was amazing, that was so cool, so what do you do for a living? And like literally every time we're like, he does this for a living, and so we learned that he needs to say that on stage. So all of you, when you're talking to someone, when you're telling your story, you say, when I train my clients, when I work one-on-one with a client, when I train groups of people, when I come into corporations. So, you know, you have to lay that out for people because really people don't know. People
don't know how to hire you. You've got to teach them how to hire you, and you have to embed it in your speech. So during your speech, you tell them how to hire you, and that basically goes like this. Like, I'm in the middle of a story. For example, ladies and gentlemen, when I get hired by Apple, and I go in there and I work with their executive team, first thing I do with them, story, 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 X, Y, Z. And all of a sudden, everyone in that audience just heard that I get hired by a company and I train executive teams. And then I go over here and I'll go, for example, when I work at high schools, and that's one of my favorite venues to work in, the first thing I do with high school kids and their parents is X, Y, Z. And now everybody in that audience who's a parent or who's a kid is going like this, well shit, why can't he come to our school? And you have to tell them how to hire you, because Brendon Burchard taught me this. I was on stage and I left the stage and I was done. And he goes, Bo, 90 CEOs out there want to work with you, but they don't know how. And I go, well, that's their problem. They should know how. And he's like, you can't say that. He goes, you have to tell them how to hire you. And you have to say it by saying, hey, I get paid for this and I get paid a lot for this. You know, you got to be able to say it. For example, when I go to Capital One and I work there, this is what I do there with Capital One. Boom, boom, boom. And they're going, Mr. Capital 2 is going like this. Did that guy just say he worked for Capital One? Oh, I'm going to hire this guy. That means I can use him. And that's how you build this thing. Here's what I want you to do next. I want you to go over to boeaston.com and I want you to download my free storytelling guide. And in there,
are all kinds of exercises to get you up on your feet, start developing and telling your story. You're also going to be the first to find out when a new video comes out, because the hardest thing about being the best and continuing to be the best is you have to be reminded of what is current. So you're going to be the first to know. We're going to keep you accountable. Go over to boeason.com, continue to be the best.